All right, here we go. We got chapter 8, lesson 5, volume of pyramids. We did volume of prisms already, and hopefully you understood the relationship between prisms and pyramids. Just to lighten the mood a little bit, I found some pictures of what you often think about when you hear the word pyramid. All right, and then I also have mathematical pyramids, which you probably don't think about all that often. I like these ones. You see the bases. That's a rectangular pyramid, hexagonal pyramid, heptagonal pyramid, seven-sided base, decagonal pyramid. Anyway, so those are mathematical pyramids. And then I had two different pyramid-related meme kind of things that I thought were interesting. I think my computer's about to explode, so if you hear the fan going, high speed, I hope it doesn't explode. All right, so we have this one, worked so hard that people believe the aliens did it. I want to see like your next flip grid, so creative that I don't believe it's done by a human being. All right, and then the next one, I mean, I guess some people think that the pyramids were created by aliens, but I don't know. And then this one gave me a little chuckle, so enjoy that one. All right, let's get to the lesson. Here we go. So volume of pyramids, here you can see this formula that we kind of tried to build in the other Edpuzzle video. And you can see that we have that 1/3 in front of the BH. Quick introduction to this vocab word, a lateral face. Lateral faces are any face that's not a base. So in a pyramid, there's only one base, and the rest of the shapes are triangles that meet up at this point called the apex. So lateral faces for pyramids are always triangles. Now, let's look at this. First step to all these volume problems, area problems, the geometry problems we've been doing is to identify the shape. Identify the shape you're working with, because the shape determines what formula you'll need to use. So anyway, it says find the volume of a pyramid. So this is a pyramid, and then we know, oh, let's go find the volume formula for a pyramid. All right, so first step, identify the shape. If you can't identify the shapes, if you don't know the shapes, then you will not be very successful in any of these geometry lessons. All right, so this is a pyramid, and then you find the formula and write it down. Write down the formula. Now, this big B, your next step is to replace the variables with the appropriate dimensions. This big B is replaced with 2 dimensions. Why? Because remember, that big B doesn't stand for just one dimension. It stands for the area of the base, the area of the base of this pyramid. And this pyramid has a rectangular base. How do we find the area of a rectangle? Length times width, or some people say base times height. So multiply the 2 dimensions of the rectangle right here, and that is what we replace for that big B. All right, the height always meets the base at a right angle, so you can always, the dotted line with the right angle symbol typically will show you where the height is and also helps you identify the base, okay? Because that dotted line there meets with this rectangle, you know that that's the base and that that's the height. All right, that's the base shape. So we use base in several different ways. You can have a base of a 2-dimensional figure, or you can have a base of a 3-dimensional figure. So it can get confusing. All right, and then it's just calculated. All right, simplified using order of operations, but it's all multiplication. So there's just do all the multiplication and get the answer. Make sure you know what to round to. All right, next problem, a little bit different. Why is that? Because this has a triangular base. And again, this dotted line helps show you which shape is the base of the pyramid. All right, and that's obviously the height then. Okay, so in this case, big B is replaced with actually 3 numbers. Why 3 numbers in this case? Because of the triangular base. To find the area of that triangular base, we need to use the formula for area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. Here, these two numbers meet at a right angle for that base, so that's your base and your height, and we can plug them in there. 11 is the dotted line that meets the pyramid's base at a right angle, so that's our height. Calculate, boom, 94.04, and you get it there. Now, I forgot to turn off the answer, so you see the answer there is 63, but I'd like you to try it yourself. See if you can do this, and I'm going to show the work over here so that you have one more example of how to do it. I started the formula, but really the first step is to name the shape. So it says it's a pyramid, and it says it has a rectangular base. So we're going to call that a rectangular pyramid. So naming the shape really helps you because it tells you what formula you're going to need. And pyramid tells us we're finding volume of a pyramid, so that's going to be 1/3 big B little h. Volume of 1/3. Now, what's going to replace the big B? Remember, it's not just one number. It's the area of the base, and since it's a rectangle in this case, we need the 2 dimensions of that rectangle. It has a length of 7 and a width of 3. Then it says the height of the of the pyramid is 9, and they chose such nice numbers, such compatible numbers, numbers that work so beautifully together, because this guy and this guy, we can use commutative property, move them close to each other, and calculate them. 1/3 of 9 is 3, and we still got the 7 and the 3 from right here, and we're going to calculate that now. It gives us 3 times 7 is 21, times 3 is that 63, and we always want to label with centimeters cubed or cubic units of whatever type that problem is dealing with. Hopefully that made sense to you. Let's move on. All right, now this is tricky. This is actually, they're going to give you the answer, the volume, and then you have to work backwards to find a missing dimension. They don't give you all the information about the dimensions, so you're going to have to find that. Notice, you know it's a pyramid, you know it's talking about volume, so that's how you know which formula you're going to use. Next, it gives you 90 cubic inches as the volume, so you're going to replace the V with 90. All right? Then you realize, oh, it says find the height of the pyramid. The thing they tell you to find is going to be the variable that does not get filled in. All right? So in the other ones, they're telling you to find the volume. So the V wasn't filled in at first until you calculated. Now the H isn't filled in because it says find the height. All right, so you plug in, since the base is a rectangle, as you can see down here, you plug in its dimensions, 9 times 5. And we're going to leave the H in there because we don't have the information. We're finding that. Now, how'd they get this 15? Simply multiplied the numbers that weren't the H. So 9 times 5 is 45, and then 1/3 of 45 is 15. All right, now you have a one-step equation. How do we isolate H? We use inverse operations. 15 times H. So we're going to cancel out the 15, we're going to divide by 15. Since it's an equation, you have to keep it balanced by doing it to both sides. 90 divided by 15 is 6, and that's what our height would have to be to give this pyramid a total volume of 90 cubic inches. All right. Whew. So we're going to look at this one. A triangular pyramid has a volume of 44. So it's the same idea. They're giving you that, basically the final result of this formula. So, and then they say find the height again, find the height. So since we're missing, they're telling us to find the height, that's the variable that we'll be keeping in there and not replacing or substituting for. All right, so we fill it in. Now, this could be tricky. How do they simplify the 1/3 times 1/2 times 8 times 3? Well, I know that half of 8 right? Half of 8 is 4, and 1/3 of 3 is 1. So that gets me 4 times 1, which is 4 here. You can use a calculator, that's fine as well. All right, and then use inverse operations to solve for h, and we get 11 meters for h. Okay, all right, rock and roll. Let's try this out. Last couple problems here, and then you'll be set. All right, so part B, read it to yourself and try to figure out the answer. And then try C and try to figure that one out. I'll show the work over here. Input your answer and then see where you made your mistakes if you made any. Let's go. Okay, triangular prism has a volume of, okay, so we're dealing with volume of a pyramid. So we got volume of a pyramid is 1/3 big B little h. They give us, they say find the height. So I know h is just going to remain there. And they give us a volume of 840. So I replace the V with 840. I got that. Now, what am I replacing big B with? I'm replacing big B with the formula for a triangle, since it says a triangular pyramid. The triangular base has a length of 20 and a height of 21. So that's going to be 1/2 times 20 times 21. And we don't know the height, so that's what we're going to be finding. Now, they've given us nice numbers again. Since all of the operations are just multiplication in this whole equation here, this whole formula, I can use commutative property and associative property to move the numbers around to fit my needs. So I know that this is going to equal 10. I know that these two, 1/3 of 21 is going to be 7. So I get 840 equals 7 times 10 is 70h. Now, 840 divided by 70 gives me a grand total of 12. So I'm going to divide by 70, h equals 12. And this isn't units cubed because it's just a height. It's just a length of something. So that's going to be 12 inches. All right. I'll give you the option if you want to try the other one. I'm going to pop up the answer. You can pause and try it and see if you're on the right track, or you can skip it. All right, 12 inches and 3.5 feet. Hey, thanks so much for working so hard on this. Here is one more example. They try to put it into an actual real life situation, but it's just basically what we started with example 1 and 2. All right, have a terrific day and good luck. Email if you have any trouble. Thanks so much.